Nickelodeon is possibly making a Nicktoons movie, but we don't even know if it's making a Nicktoons movie, but people are saying they're making a Nicktoons movie, but it's not been officially confirmed. Hi, I'm Andre, and I'm a black nerd. It was announced on Deadline.com. Nickelodeon and Paramount are working together to make a Nicktoons movie. A movie where all the different Nicktoons come together. Somehow, all the Nicktoons are gonna be in a movie together. This is not the first time this has come out. I actually remember this story coming out around September of last year, but it's come back because, according to Deadline, not only is this movie happening, but they actually have a director for it, Jared Hess. He was the director of Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre. So, I've been very cautious to talk about this. While it's coming from Deadline, Deadline is usually a reputable source. In case you don't know, Deadline is kind of like a Hollywood entertainment website. Usually very official, usually confirming things or getting from official sources. But this is the same Deadline that also told us that exclusively Space Jam 2 is coming with LeBron James, and then it was found out later that was not true. I'm just putting that out there. I want to talk about it because a lot of people keep asking me about it, but I'm letting you know right now, I don't know for fact or not if this is true. Okay? At Black Gamer Girl says, we can dream. They can't take that away from us, LOL. Yeah, even if this is not true, we'll keep dreaming that it's true. One of you actually asked me if I thought it was true. At Thomas L964992330, what are you, a stormtrooper? Can you tell us if you believe it or not? I kind of believe it because, like, you know, Nickelodeon is obviously working a lot with their older franchises with the Splat. There was some news that was floating around even a while back saying that they're looking at possibly reviving some of their old cartoons. I think this is either true or maybe it's at least in the works. Maybe it's not official greenlit yet, but it's at least an idea that's floating around. Or if it's not something they thought about, this was all completely made up, they're probably looking at these stories and going, we weren't thinking about making that, but now that everybody's talking about it, I'm more optimistic than pessimistic that this could happen. Since Nickelodeon has the rights to use a lot of these characters, I don't know what the situation is with Doug because he's part Disney, part Nickelodeon, but they have the rights to use these characters. That's why they got them all on this t-shirt here. I'm super excited about that idea. I would love to see a movie where all these Nickelodeon cartoons are together because they don't usually get together except for the Jimmy Timmy Power Hours. They don't really combine. They're all different types of shows. To see them all together interact with each other, I would love that. I would love to see Ren and Stimpy and Rocco side by side. That would be amazing. Ren and Stimpy, Rocco and Heifer, that would be hilarious, you know? Or see Cat Dog, you know, meet with Ren and Stimpy, like that could be some funny situations. The way they've been describing it so far, because no news has come out about what the movie is actually about, if it even exists. The rumor is that it's gonna be like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit type thing, where it's live action and animation. And you know what? That's kind of a cool concept. I kind of can't think of any other way that you could do it with all those different characters in one place. If you're gonna do that, do it like Roger Rabbit, or do it like Looney Tunes Back in Action, which is a movie I really like. I don't know why people don't like Looney Tunes Back in Action. I love that movie. Do it like that, where they exist in the real world. Like the Nicktoons are part of the real world. I always liked that. I never liked the whole, you know, I've always joked about how I can't stand when they're in their own cartoon world and then they find a portal and then they come to the real world and it's like, what's a cell phone? What's these big screen TVs? Oh my God, I don't understand. It's like, most of the characters from Nicktoons are humans. They should know these things, okay? So just have them already be involved in the real world, and of course, keep them 2D animated. Do not try any CGI business with them, because I'm gonna tell you something. Going back and watching Who Framed Roger Rabbit and then watching movies today where the cartoon characters are 3D, I find the characters in Roger Rabbit, I find 2D animated Roger and Bugs and Mickey, that feels more real to me than these CGI characters that you're trying to make me feel like should be real when I'm like, no, it's not real. So I don't know why that is, but for some reason, I believe a 2D animated cartoon can run around the real world faster than I believe a CGI character can run around in the real world. That's just how I roll. So keep them that way. That's how we know them. That's how we love them. That's how they should stay. I don't know what you're gonna do with Jimmy Neutron if he ends up in this thing. And of course, that's the big thing, is who's gonna be in this movie. I mean, you got Doug, Rugrats, Ren and Stimpy, Rocco's Modern Life, Our Real Monsters, Angry Beavers, Cat Dog, Kablam, Action League Now, you know? Who am I missing? Who does Hey Arnold, Cat Scratch, you know? And then how far current are you gonna get? Because SpongeBob and Fairly Odd Parents, they're still on the air, but they've been on for a very long time. And if they're trying to get the younger audience, are they gonna bring in some of the newer Nicktoons, or Breadwinner's gonna be in this, or what, a big pig boat banana, pig goat banana. That one, you know what I'm talking about, the pig boat banana, pig goat banana cricket, right? Is that what it is? God dang it. Sanjay and Craig. Is Sanjay and Craig gonna be in it? Because that's my only concern about this idea. Is Nickelodeon nostalgia that strong? At Sailor Pancakes asked the same question. Is Nicktoon nostalgia that powerful? I grew up with those shows and then I grew out of them. That's the thing that happens. I know that online, on the internet, we are all about some 90s stuff. We are all about some Nickelodeon. We are all about the nostalgia. But the thing about nostalgia is we love to talk about it. We love the emotion of it. When it gets to the actual action of watching, viewing, supporting, returning to the nostalgia things that we talk about, not as strong. You can have a person talk about Nicktoons all day, but will they go out and buy the Nicktoons DVDs? Will they buy the Nicktoons merchandise? Will they go to a movie that stars Nicktoons if they're in it? I love He-Man and the Masters of the Universe in concept, but when you go back and watch it now, you can tell that show had very limited animation. It was the imagination in my brain of how I watched the show as a kid that pretty much added the animation for me. Like in my mind, He-Man is like an epic movie that you would see today, and then when you watch it, the cartoon is like, I am He-Man, Master of the Universe. I am moving my hand. I have no power. And I'm Skeletor, and I will just do this move, and then I will just stand here and move my mouth. You know, so Nickelodeon stuff or older stuff that we watched as kids can always be great when you're a kid, but then when you return to it, go, But we didn't think a movie with Legos would work, and that worked great. So if you put something in that style, like I said, if you get a Roger Rabbit style, Lego movie style script behind this, and use it with these Nicktoons, then I can see that being something that can not only work for the people who grew up on that stuff, but maybe for someone who's just interested in live action animation and says, hey, this looks like a cool idea. Now the question is, what is the movie gonna be about though? What would you do with a Nicktoons movie? Here's my thought. Here's my plot. I think what they should do is the Nicktoons should live in Earth. There's no portals. There's none of that. They're on the Paramount lot. They're part of our world. They're in entertainment in Hollywood. Somebody wants to shut down Nickelodeon. Somebody wants to destroy Nickelodeon. Who cares about kids? We need to take this over, make it some like boring adult channel, because that's how Nickelodeon always was. It's like, Nickelodeon, we're for kids, forget the adults, we're cool. So they, have some like business guy come in like, we need to get rid of Nickelodeon. And of course, if you get rid of Nickelodeon, goodbye Nicktoons. So they have to work together, band together, whatever, something to save the day. And of course, comical things happen along the way. Maybe there's a Nicktoon traitor, Cat from Cat Dog or Ren would totally turncoat at a moment's notice if he can get some money out of it. So, and you get a celebrity to play the person that's trying to shut down Nicktoons or Nickelodeon. Done. So that's my thought. Again, I don't know if this is true or not, but if it is true, I'm excited about it. I would support it. I just hope that we learn that Nickelodeon nostalgia is actually strong, because if this movie is made and it doesn't do well, it is gonna just prove that the internet talking about nostalgia is just a bunch of yapping. Then we're gonna realize that it's just more about the emotion of nostalgia than the actual supporting of the nostalgia. Now let's see what you guys thought. I mentioned this story on my Twitter @BlackNerd, and some of you sent me some responses back through tweets of what you thought. Cutie Chaser on Twitter says, it just seems like bait for page views. It could be. We know that blogs nowadays are all about, we heard a source from someone's producers / aunt, cousins, next door neighbor that this thing is getting made, but I don't know. I think Nickelodeon's gonna do something with those older properties. We don't know what, but they're gonna do something because money's gotta be made. Steven Zarita said, I'm just glad someone mentioned Kablam. Kablam doesn't get mentioned a lot. I wanna throw that out there, Action League Now, Prometheus and Bob, you can't forget about Kablam. Fairly Odd Parents came from Kablam, right? Tanya with a Pen says, if people really want to see Nicktoons joining forces, they should play the Nicktoons Unite video game. Nicktoons Unite, you could play as different Nicktoons working together in a video game. You can also play Nicktoons Baseball, actual baseball players and Nickelodeon cartoon characters in a baseball game. So there you go. Just make a movie version of that. Nicktoons in the outfield. Starring Christopher Lloyd. Jermehan says, this is trash. They should just greenlight some new shows instead of relying on the past to get ratings. Welcome to Hollywood. Why create anything original when you can just make money on stuff that people already like? Have you not seen the movies coming out this year? Or next year? Or the years after that? We got the X-Files back on TV, man. They ain't trying to come up with nothing new. Hooray for Hollywood. That reboot and revival Hollywood. We see something from the old, we do take it back and remake it. That's what we do in Hollywood. Dubstep at. I'm losing my mind. And at DDreamer9159 says the thing that I think we all agree, Let's hope it's not another Pixels. So what do you think, Play Cousins? Let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you are new here, please subscribe. I make new nerdy videos all week, every week. I love you like a Play Cousin. I'm Addy 5000. Chain Chomp Yomp.